I had no idea what the fuck I was getting myself into because
Yeah.
funny, I FaceTimed our lovely friend Dan yesterday. You're probably gonna chuckle at this. But I I'm asking him questions and
He has
um
no idea, does he?
no, no, I'm asking him questions and he's like, Carl, like we're a week out. Like, how do you like not know about any of this stuff? Because like I was going through the agenda
Yeah.
and I'm like, no fucking way. They got a hot tub. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I was like, yo, look at these people. They're dressed up in ski gear, like at a
Bro.
concert. And Dan's like, Carl, like, do you not know like what we're like doing? I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You sent this text out to me in July of last year during
Yeah.
probably my busiest month of the season at work.
Yeah.
I saw Europe trip skiing, and with you guys, I was like, take my money.
Yeah.
I didn't even care what the details were. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Man Podcast. I am Carl Mattioli with my lovely co-host Tyler Garnett. Tyler, how are we doing today for episode 50?
We are doing fantastic, full of energy. Full of
Full
energy on this
energy.
beautiful morning. To tear down the fourth wall a little bit. Me and Carl just talked seconds ago about how tired we are. And Carl and me will talk a little bit about why we are so tired, because we are committed to this lovely podcast and bringing you guys another great episode this week.
Hell yeah, Tyler. I mean, we were, staying up tirelessly watching Daredevil last night as it came
Yep.
out at 9 p.m.
Yep.
So super excited to talk about that.
Hmm.
And we decided we wanted to wake up early, get it out of the way, so
Yep.
that this way we all can get to our lives.
Yes, yes, exactly. I got my lovely cup of Joe, so we're in. We're energized. We're ready to go. We hope you guys enjoyed as much as we do.
Yeah, today's a two coffee kind of day, no doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be having one now and one later for sure.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Tyler. So how about you give us the rundown of what we're talking about to our lovely folks out there?
Yeah, we got a lot of various topics here, but a packed agenda for sure. First, we're going to do a little two man, two thoughts, two trips. As of recording, next week, me and Carl will be on two different adventures that we will talk about a little bit more in the following episodes, but we'll preview those real quickly. And then the next topic, we have a little WWE segment for us. Me and Carl are, big fans since we were younger, and we're still kind of keeping up with it nowadays. The Elimination Chamber just happened. John Cena had a little heel turn, so we do want to talk about that a little bit because it's something that we are a little passionate about. And then we will finally get into what we were just talking about, why we were up so late. And that is Daredevil just premiered with a 2 episode premiere on Disney Plus last night as of recording. So we watched that. And then we'll do a little New York sports as always. We have the Knicks, and then we have the Mets spring training as well. And then we'll end with a little game to go with the Mets as well. So we hope you guys enjoy. And Carl, how about you kick it off and just preview a little bit about this exciting trip I know you're looking forward to?
Yeah, man. So it's kind of funny because beforehand we were talking about what our St. Patty's Days is going to consist of.
Yep.
Tyler will definitely touch on how excited he is. But our friend Courtney usually invites us, it's her birthday on St. Patty's Day. So
Hmm.
she usually invites us to do something fun and creative, on St. Patty's Day. But
Yep.
I this year will be not in attendance for Tyler. So I will miss you. But
I'll miss you too.
I have talked about it on this trip the past couple episodes. I will be going to Switzerland this time next week.
Hmm.
I will be headed there. So I'm super stoked for that, man. I'll be there during St. Patty's Day. So I can only imagine how Europe is really gonna try and celebrate this
Yeah.
love event.
Hmm.
Um, it's gonna be a different trip for me. It's really gonna be a lot of skiing. I mean,
Hmm.
I went to Denver like last year,
Hmm.
which was a cool event, was fun, but it still was like in the States and it was still kind of like sightseeing and like we only skied like 3 out of like the 5 days that I was gonna be there. I'm gonna be skiing for 5 days when I'm there.
That's
So
crazy.
it's a lot of skiing. I mean, the mountain is huge. Like,
Hmm.
so when I talked about this in the past, I had no idea what the fuck I was getting myself into because
Yeah.
funny, I FaceTimed our lovely friend Dan yesterday. You're probably gonna chuckle at this. But I'm asking him questions And
He has
um
no idea, does he?
no, I'm asking him questions, and he's like, Carl, like we're a week out. Like, how do you like not know about any of this stuff? Because like I was going through the agenda,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no fucking way, they got a hot tub. I was
Yeah.
like, no, I was like, yo, look at these people. They're dressed up in ski gear, like at a
Bro.
concert. And Dan's like, Carl, like, do you not know like what we're like doing? I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You sent this text out to me in July of last year during
Yeah.
probably my busiest month of the season at
Yeah.
work. I saw Europe trip skiing, and with you guys, I was like, take my money.
Yeah.
I didn't even care what the details
I
were.
was just about to say, if you guys don't know, this text was sent, yeah, last summer, highlighting this trip coming up in March with the link that had the scheduling, how much everything costs, what the itineraries look day by day. So it's even funnier hearing that you're a week out, just kind of, I mean, people get busy in life. I mean, yeah, you're about to go to Europe. That's
Lit-
crazy. And
Literally, yeah,
you,
a
you,
week out.
you were just telling me it's a music festival as well. So
Yeah.
it's just literally nonstop skiing going up to these stages, it sounds like.
Yeah, man. And Dan told me too, is like there's no like cars or anything that go to the stages. Like
Mhm.
it's either on the mountain or like it's walking distance from the hotel that we got.
Hmm.
So like we're gonna be literally skiing up to like these stages. I
Yeah.
was like, yo, what kind of clothes do I have to bring? Like,
Yeah.
do I have to bring like going out clothes, like a button down?
Hmm.
Like what kind like what should I expect to pack? And he was
Hmm.
like, honestly, I'm not sure either. So like all of us are in the dark because it's
Yeah.
me, Jack, Dan, and Dot. So it's
Hmm.
the five of us. I'm kind of happy it's like a smaller group to kind of like figure it out, especially skiing. I
Fair.
feel like it's like rough, like going skiing like with a big group of people. Like
Yeah.
imagine trying to catch up with all 10 of you, at the
Hmm.
bottom of the mountain. I feel like it's just like hard to do.
I imagine.
Um, but yeah, like I'm just super stoked to just see exactly how it plays out.
Yeah, and is this your first time going to Europe?
Yeah, I've never been to Europe before,
Nice.
so it's my first time. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna go like the day before and like kind of see the capital of Switzerland.
Nice.
But what's also cool about this mountain is that I could ski from Switzerland to France. It connects the
That's
two
cool.
countries,
Yeah.
I think, which I've talked about before.
Hmm.
And the the mountain itself is the second largest mountain in the world, like ski mountain in
Oh,
the world.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
because like it's the Swiss Alps, which like they're basically just like known for like skiing,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
like in the wintertime. Like that's what people go to Switzerland for. It's
Wow.
that and chocolate.
Yeah.
So two of the top things that I are on my bucket list.
Absolutely. You got to come back with a bunch of chocolate.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna stuff it in any like where I could possibly stuff some chocolate. That's where I will be putting it.
Good, smart. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing all about that trip. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, especially if, I was a avid skier. I'm sure this would be a dream. Like you said, you went to Colorado, which I feel like is
Yeah,
a dream spot to go, and now Switzerland slash France with a music festival tied in. I can't wait to hear about this one.
yeah. I'm stoked, man. It's like a week away, and I'm like, damn, I just like can't believe like I've been excited about the trip, but
Hmm.
like I said, I didn't know shit about it. So I
Yeah,
literally just started looking stuff up on TikTok yesterday, like things to do.
yeah,
It was fucking sick. So
yeah. And
see what happens.
That Y2K theme is crazy. Dressing up as
Oh yeah.
Y2K, that's going to be difficult.
I know. I don't know what the hell how you even do that. Anybody that knows how to dress up as Y2K, please let us know because I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
bamboozled.
Yeah, that's one of the themes for the day Carl was telling me about. And looking it up, it's tough. It looks like baggy clothes, denim on denim, jean on jean kind of look. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
but skiing wise, I don't know how you can incorporate some of that.
No idea.
It's going to be difficult, but I believe you guys will figure it out for sure.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah, yeah,
Somehow.
somehow. But yeah, I just remember, I still keep forgetting it's a week away. I remember when we were talking and I was asking if you were going to Harpoon Fest, you said you couldn't. And at
I
first I was
know.
upset, but then you physically cannot because you will be in a different country.
I 100% would be there
I know. I
if
believe it.
I didn't have any like prior commitments that I booked like 8 months ago. I was upset too because Courtney said it's usually the weekend before St.
Yes.
Patty's Day.
Yes.
So like when we talked about it, I was like, hey, listen, like because her birthday is on St. Patty's Day. I was like, I'm not
Hmm.
gonna be there for your birthday, but if like you want to do anything like the weekend before, the weekend after, like let me know.
Yeah.
Sadly, cannot.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. A few people, I know Jill and I think Josh all took off the weekend before. And then the
Yeah,
dates dropped and it was the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, which is crazy.
it's gonna be electric there, especially in Boston. Like you guys are gonna have a good time.
I know with the parade the next day, I mean, at least most of us, I don't think plan on going to the parade the next day because we went in years past. But I mean, Harpoon Fest, I love. It's something I look forward to every year.
Yeah.
If you don't remember us talking about it last year, it's this 2 day event. We're going on the Saturday. It's just under a tent from outside Harpoon Brewery, who hosts it every year, and it just has live music, and you can buy different drink packages to have tickets when you go in to try their different beers and stuff like that. So it's a real fun time, especially if you like beer. It adds to it because there's plenty of different beers to try. But there's
Oh yeah.
ciders, there's other drinks for other people who might not like beer. But I just remember being there for hours last year. Live music, everyone's dressed in green, everyone's
Such a
drinking
good
heavily
time.
for St. Patrick's Day weekend. It's something I'm really looking forward to again this year, and that's what I'll be doing next Saturday. And I can't wait for it. I really can't.
Yeah, man, dude, those just events are so cool too. And
Hmm.
when you first walk in, like they give you the free like shots or like the free samples of different drinks.
Yes,
So like they start you off right.
I
And
know.
and then you walk in, you get a couple of drink tickets,
Yep.
and then it's just dude, it was a blur for me last year. A
I
blur.
know. That's what I was just talking about that recently, because I didn't realize how long and how much we were like going to be drinking all day. Because I was like, oh, 3 drink tickets, like that's not too many. So but I didn't realize you could kind of buy more drink tickets throughout the
Yeah.
event and also keep getting drinks. I thought that was kind of just the limit, so I had a few more than I probably should have beforehand last year. So yeah, the end of the event was definitely somewhat of a blur. So I would definitely like to tone it back a touch this year to enjoy. But I'm looking forward to it.
Uh,
I'm looking forward to it for sure. St. Patrick's Day weekend is just very exciting.
yeah, man, it's like literally a holiday just to drink.
It
It's
is.
great.
Everyone, yeah, and everyone buys in. They just drink as much as possible, no matter the age.
Yeah, especially for like us, us Americans, we really don't have a reason that if you're not Irish to celebrate St. Patty's Day,
Yeah,
besides the fact that it is St. Patty's Day. So
yeah.
it's great.
No, I agree. I was just talking about this with someone recently, and I said, no matter if you're Irish or not on St. Patrick's Day, everyone is 100%
Everyone's
Irish.
Irish.
A hundred
Uh-huh.
percent, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it is just so much fun, and honestly, everywhere. Just the whole month of March is there's a different parade or a different bar crawl or a different St. Patrick's Day celebration somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in New York, Long Island, Boston. I mean, if you want to drink a certain weekend in March, you'll find something to do. So,
Yeah, you were telling me about that town too that like covers for St. Patty's Day that has like the one of the biggest like celebrations like in the country.
one of the towns I cover for work in Holyoke has one of the largest St. Patrick's Day weekends in the country. They estimate anywhere from 350,000 to 400,000 people every year between the 2 days. They have a road race on Saturday, the parade on the Sunday, and that's this year the weekend after St. Patrick's Day. And it's just like, I think they said the parade is like 2 miles or something. And to
That's
think, to
insane.
think 200,000 for that day in a 2 mile radius is absurd. But they put it together well. Apparently, I've seen pictures and videos and heard good stories. So
Dude, like you must not be able to move like in that
it
town.
has to be. It has to almost be like New Year's Eve, where you have to just get there at like early morning and then
Yeah.
hold in your pee and have your drinks and food around you and not be able to move because that seems tough.
Yeah, man. It's tough, dude. I don't know. I do not know how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. All I look forward to every year is green bagels, which we've talked
Uh,
about on this
oh
podcast.
no, I'm not gonna be here for the green bagels. I'm gonna have to have my mom freeze them.
Yeah, have a freeze them or try and send them to Europe, express ship them
Yeah,
to you
yeah.
guys. Yeah, I love green bagels and anything else that's associated with it brings back good memories from St. Patrick's Day from when we were kids. So I
Oh
definitely look
yeah,
forward to that.
sitting in literally elementary school, getting a green bagel with cream cheese or butter. Nothing better, man. Nothing
Going to
better.
recess or like the library and coming back and seeing the leprechaun ransack the bedroom is was the saddest thing because how do we miss him? How did he sneak in
How
every time we weren't there and ruin it?
that
Really, really
sneaky
grinding
freaking
my gears.
leprechaun. Yeah, no, literally had no idea.
Yeah, that's nuts. But kind of speaking a little bit of something else when we were younger, something that you and me loved as much was our next
Good
topic.
segue.
Thank you. Is WWE. I know I don't know how many of our listeners are big fans of WWE,
Well,
but
you're gonna be now.
you're
Sorry.
gonna be and you're gonna
You're
have to
gonna
listen
be.
to it.
Yep.
Uh,
Sorry.
sorry, because this weekend was the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event, which I think is one of the more popular events because it's like who doesn't love a steel cage and Hell in a Cell, but this
Oh
is
yeah.
on steroids because the chamber is pretty dope and the pay-per-view was awesome and there was just so many different things that happened, but the biggest one where people might have seen it because I actually saw a lot of coverage of it was John Cena turning heel
Dude,
and
the
someone
biggest broke the internet, bro.
absolutely broke the internet. And someone who doesn't really watch WWE probably might not understand how big of a deal that is, but that's a pretty big deal. I mean, Cena, who is just a likable guy, preaches hustle, loyalty, respect, has always just been this down to earth, great human. And now he's turned into a villain in WWE, which is going to be crazy to see after this, 20 plus year career of him being just a
Yeah.
nice person.
He's literally been the epitome of a good man.
Hmm.
Like every single just person who has watched it, or even if you don't watch WWE, you know who John Cena is. You know he's the
Hmm.
man you can't see, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's the joke, you know? Like he's been the poster child of the
Hmm.
WWE for like over the past 2 decades.
Hmm.
And just the fact that he is now turning to a villainous arc
Hmm.
is going to be very interesting to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And he announced last year, end of last year, that this year, 2025, would be his final year, his final Rumble, his final Elimination Chamber, his final WrestleMania, and December will be his final match. He'll be done. And starting off, I was upset with how the tour started because he only had 2 or 3 appearances and it's already March after he's saying he was going to come back full time and
Yeah.
do all these dates, whether it was scheduling conflicts or whether that played into this whole heel persona. We don't know, but maybe it did. And I'm just excited to see hopefully he starts ramping up and we see how this goes going forward because he definitely wants that 17th world
Oh
ranking
yeah.
title.
I mean, now he's facing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania because he won the chamber.
Yes.
So he has a shot to win it there.
Hmm.
But now it's like really just kind of speculation on like really what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think it could really go in any direction. I mean, first of all, the fact that he did turn heel is just crazy to join The Rock because he used to
Yeah.
have a feud with The Rock.
Yes.
And at first I was like, what the fuck? You were texting me because I was at
I
work.
know, I know.
And I was like, what do you mean like John Cena turned heel? Like I
Yeah,
couldn't believe it.
I did. Yeah.
I could not believe it. Like to read it, I had to like go on and look at like people posting about it. And then as the days kind of unfolded, it makes a lot of sense because
Hmm.
he's like when he first came back, he talked about how he wasn't going for a championship because
Hmm.
he hasn't won in like over a year, like a
Yeah.
singles match competition. So they were like, I'm not gonna just instantly go back and try and win. I gotta win a couple
Yeah.
of more times.
Of course.
And then he loses at the Rumble, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put myself in the Elimination Chamber. I'm not gonna qualify or anything. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna solidify myself in there. It's like, whoa, that's weird. That doesn't sound very John Cena.
No.
And then in the Elimination Chamber, obviously he comes out like regular John Cena like
Hmm.
form. He's like, kissing babies and freaking like telling everybody to be like their best selves. He
Literally.
gets in the cage and then he basically cheats by, CM Punk getting stomped by Seth Rollins
I
and
know.
going right into what is that chokehold called? It's like the STU or like
I think it's the STFU. is
STFU, yeah.
what it used to be called. I don't know in this
Yeah.
PG. They're kind of getting away from it, but in the PG era, I think they changed it.
Yeah, they did, I think.
I think
But
we used to know it as the STFU,
I know it as the STFU,
and that's what
yeah.
we're going by.
That's where we're going with.
Yeah,
And then he puts him in a submission hold, middle of the ring, and just puts him
puts
right
him to
out.
sleep. Yeah.
Puts him to sleep. So even like that, I wasn't like, damn, like he's going heel. But like now to think about like this stuff, like after it happened, it's like
Hmm.
the signs were there. And then,
Yeah.
dude, like just like even like, dude, like good on him acting.
Hmm.
Like even when Cody Rhodes told The Rock to go F himself, he,
Yeah.
oh fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like I was like, holy shit! Like Cody just did that, and in the background,
Yep.
Rock is going. I mean, Cena's going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, no way, he just said that. He's
Yeah.
going to the crowd. He's like, look at
Yeah. He
him.
was like hyping up the crowd and everything. Like he was
Yeah,
playing the part that he was acting dumb the entire time.
yeah. And then you know, I hated this whole like thing The
Yeah.
Rock did. I hated that.
Yeah. Dumb.
But as soon as he gives that signal, dude kicks him in the nuts, and they just go to town on him.
Dude, I know. You're looking, yeah, Cena is just looking so mean. He backs up again, acts dumb, looks all happy,
Yeah,
daps up Cody Rhodes and just kicks him in the nuts. And like you said, they beat the hell out of him. And
dude, beat the hell out of him.
it was crazy to watch. And also, no one gave the memo to Travis Scott that we don't actually hit as hard as we're supposed to. For anyone that doesn't know, too, which is going to be a crazy moment, because as big as a
I'm
moment
so
this
glad you brought
was
this up.
for the
Yeah.
WWE, you're going to look back at this moment 15, 20 years from now, wrestling fans, and you're going to see this clip and you're going to be like, wow, this is crazy. Is that Travis Scott standing in the corner? Because what is he doing? He was drinking cacti. He had his own belt. He was doing sage and all this stuff. But, The Rock was joking with Travis Scott, like, oh, get a hit in on Cody Rhodes, get a hit in. And they hold him down. And if you haven't seen the clip, Travis Scott actually smacks and punches the hell out of the side of Cody Rhodes' head. And apparently, the rumor is that he has what a shattered eardrum and like
Yeah. Yeah.
broken something else.
Yeah.
Whether it's for a
Yeah.
storyline or not, if that's true, my God, Travis, take it easy on the boy. That is crazy.
Dude,
Just a
he
crazy
literally
headline to read.
winded up and went bang.
I
And then
know.
it just came out, I think, yesterday. Triple H posted a video that happened right after they walked off stage,
Hmm.
and like Travis was like amped, bro. Like he's like, yo, I'm not even. He's like, yo, Triple H. He's like, yo, I'm not even playing with you, bro. He's like that experience, like that feeling of being in that ring.
Yeah.
It's better than performing. He's like,
Damn.
it's better than performing. I'm like, this is fucking the probably biggest performer in the world
Yeah.
saying that being in the ring in WWE, just like that aura, that feeling you get in
Yeah.
the ring is like better. He's like, dude, I'm fucking making a ring at every crib I own. He's like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in every gym. I'm putting a ring. I'm putting a ring in my house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see how they go forward. It's unfortunate because it seems like Cena's scheduling conflicts are tough because I don't think he appeared on the Raw after.
He didn't,
Yeah, which is tough because you have such a moment like that, and then for none of those guys to come out. I mean, Cody might be banged up, but for no one to come out and
Yeah.
kind of touch on that kind of kills the momentum.
Cody will
Uh,
definitely probably be there on Friday. He's a SmackDown guy
okay,
now
gotcha.
anyway. So I mean they really only have him come on like Raw like every once in a while.
Mm,
He's a SmackDown you know, I
yeah.
guess wrestler.
Yeah,
So
I didn't really know that I don't pay attention to the too much, but I hope Cena comes back, shaved head, and just goes full
dude,
into it, man.
I mean I think he needs to. He's balding.
He's
It's
balding
bad.
bad. Yeah, so
It's
hopefully
bad.
whatever film he's working on, he's all done with and can shave his head and go full into that, attitude kind of
Persona,
era.
yeah.
Yeah, because when you think of Cena, what is like? I know he has all these different color shirts and different stuff. Like what Cena do you usually think of the most? Like what color
That's such
shirt?
a great question because I was watching, they posted before he did the Elimination Chamber, they
Hmm.
posted all his Elimination Chamber like outfits or like
Hmm.
his like entrances.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I remember specifically like that one. Oh, I remember specifically that one.
Yeah.
The one that really pops into my head, which is weird because I didn't really watch it during this time,
Mm-hmm.
was I think during 2011 the orange Cena
Mm.
uh shirt. I think that's the one that pops in my head. But what about you?
I think of the black and the orange, like when he came out at MSG at the Rumble. When
Yes.
returning, I also didn't really remember watching at that time, but it was like maybe a little before us. But when he came out, that's what I usually associate him with, the black and the orange, not all these new
Yeah.
colors. So, he has a lot of different shirts over the years, but
I
it's
love
good to
it
see
how
him
he has
back.
a different one like every time.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like they're kind of building this up. I mean, I've seen clips. I mean, he hasn't held a title in however many years. He hasn't won a singles match in however many years. He hasn't done all this in so many years. His press conference after losing the Rumble, all these things about saying he wanted his shot. So I think they're going to play into that a little bit about how he doesn't care about earning it. He's just going to get it because he's been around. He's been carrying it for so many years. And
Yeah.
it's going to be crazy if they actually not let him win, but have him win at WrestleMania, or if maybe they try to build up Cody more and then Cena wins it another time. Who knows? Who knows?
I think it could go one of two ways. Just like my early prediction is one side, I think the WWE doesn't want Cody Rhodes to win or wants Cody Rhodes to lose because again, like you said, they want to build him up.
Yeah.
They want him to like be a good champion and not lose his first WrestleMania.
Hmm.
So I could see that not happening. But I also think that it would be good if Cena won because
Hmm.
that's probably best for business
Yeah.
is Cena winning, especially as a heel.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool too, as being the villain.
Hmm.
And then I think just like the whole I think you progress the story for the rest of the year
Hmm.
by like making Cody trying to get that championship back and like failing because Cena is the corporate champion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because then you just build up whoever is going to try and take it from Cena, and then
Yeah.
whoever eventually does is absolutely at the top of the WWE again.
Yeah.
So whether it be Cody or someone else, you build that up a little bit, and it's going to be exciting to see whoever it might be if Cena does indeed win.
Yeah, man. I just like can't believe they did that to him, man. I can't
I
believe it.
can't believe they did it because it was such a wholesome kind of chamber, especially with Punk and Cena being the last two. They had a little moment because those two have had a big feud in the past. And, to see those guys both back at, in their 40s, kind of wrestling like, they've never left. There were some good spots there.
Yeah.
And then it ended how it ended. And it's crazy that their paths cross. It seems like they're going to go different directions now. But yeah, I still can't believe it. It's hard to put into words. I wish I had it. Someone put it into a tweet because they were trying to explain it to a non-wrestling watcher, and it was like perfect. But I can't remember what it was. I'll have to find it because
Oh,
it
you
was
gotta
and send
find
it
it
to
and
you.
let me know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's gonna be something fun to watch going forward.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm actually going to Monday Night Raw next Monday.
Yes.
So Friday. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but I'm gonna try and buy it on the buy tickets on the bridge, which I
Hmm.
think will be a pretty cool view for the whole, viewing experience.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll
I
see what
love the
happens.
I love the bridge at Madison Square Garden. We've seen
Yeah.
concerts there, you and me. So
Yeah.
anyone listening, if you're skeptical about going on the bridge at the Garden, don't be. It's a great view.
Don't be. That's why I was like, I don't know how it's gonna be like for the ring, because like I'd be like seeing on top of it. Like I don't know if I'd rather like be lower, even if like I'm like higher up. I don't know if
Hmm.
I'd rather have like a shot kind of like I guess because like when you're on the bridge, you'll be literally over them.
Yeah,
Like would I want to be on the side and like see from the side even as far away? I was like, I'm gonna probably look at the screen anyway, regardless.
yeah,
So, but it's gonna be
yeah.
a steel cage match, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
I know that's gonna be awesome.
Sounds just electric, dude. Electric.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sorry you can't come, man.
I know. I
Brick
wish
work.
next time. Next time. But how about we move a little bit into our next topic here, which is the show that just debuted last night as a recording, and finally the long-awaited Daredevil is back. Never
Oh,
thought I'd say these words on that podcast, but Daredevil is back,
yeah.
and if you haven't watched yet, there will be spoilers ahead, most likely. So
Yes. Spoiler alert.
maybe fast forward
Um,
past this part, but Carl, what did you think of the two
um,
episode premiere?
So my initial thought is that what I was seeing before this came out was everyone who saw it at the premiere said this was peak.
Hmm.
We are back. Like
Yeah.
Marvel is back.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like these are words, these are sayings that we've been hearing
Yeah.
for over the past year and a half now
Yep.
with all the Marvel projects that have come out. When Deadpool and Wolverine came out,
Hmm.
um, when all the shows that just came out, like you get haters and then you have people saying that we're back. I personally think from these two episodes, we are so back.
Absolutely.
I don't care what's going to happen now within the next couple of movies, to be honest with you. Listen, I'm excited for Thunderbolts. I'm excited for Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
I think just the show wise has just really lacked
Hmm.
at Marvel. They really haven't had a direction, and this is the like I guess prototype of the kind of what they want to go forward with TV
Hmm.
shows now for Marvel. And
Hmm.
if this is what we're gonna get from all our TV shows, I'm 100% locked in, dude, because it was fantastic. How do you feel about it?
I agree 100%. And, even from the first 10 minutes of the first episode to all the different shots and all, they kind of zoom in to hone in on how his powers and listening and kind of zoom out when it's a bigger shot. Like, it's kind of crazy that they don't do this with more shows. It almost
Yeah,
shows that they were trying to rush everything else. You can tell they took their time with this show and they actually care about it because it's the first Marvel show I've watched in a while where I wasn't afraid that they were going to do something dumb or cringy or something to ruin just a storyline or lore within Marvel. And I was watching it like, wow, this is the old Daredevil. This
yeah,
is the old series that came out. They picked up right where they left off and kind of elevated it even a little further. And
yeah.
it was great to see. I mean, it was great to see a lot of the old gangs. Some we saw less time than others, unfortunately. Um,
That really got me, man, dude.
oh my God, we had, yeah, I said spoilers already, but we had, it starts off with the old gang, Karen, Fozzie, and
Foggy.
God damn it, Foggy and Matt Murdock, and then all of a sudden, bam, dead, dead, immediately in the first shot.
Dude,
And
and like you knew he was clipped too because that guy's character's name is Bullseye. So he
yeah,
doesn't miss.
no.
So he got shot. You knew he wasn't not dying from that.
Well, yeah, because at first I was skeptical because I was confused about what happened, like who got shot. And then I saw the two guys behind him get shot directly in the forehead. And I was like, oh, Foggy's dead. He's got to be dead. And then they kind of didn't kill him right away, obviously. They're
Yeah.
Karen's trying to apply pressure. But I mean, he's bleeding out. He's done. And then I'm not glad he died, but I'm glad they didn't put him in a hospital. And it's like, oh, maybe they can save him. I mean, he got shot directly in the heart.
Yeah.
That's over. In other movies, it's like, oh, maybe he'll make it. It's like they called it right there, obviously, because so sad. And then immediately jump ahead 1 year later,
Yeah.
which was nuts too, to
Nuts.
kind of see once again Murdoch giving up the old Daredevil role and sticking straight to just being a lawyer.
Yeah, he must be like the most inconsistent superhero Marvel has.
Literally, he goes through like a midlife crisis every year and he's like, I'm never going back to the suit. I'm never
Yep.
going back to that guy. And
Yep.
then as we see at the end of the second episode, one thing happens and it's like it's creeping. It's creeping. He wants to come back.
Yeah, you made a yell right before this episode started, and I was like, yo, relax, Daredevil, because that yell he let out at the end of episode two, I felt him. That's how I felt, bro. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
know.
oh,
I know
he was like,
because I know
ah, like
between the
that's how
two
I felt.
episodes, I mean, nothing really went right for him.
No,
Obviously his best friend dies in front of him. He tries to beat up Dex as much as possible. He's going to jail for a long time. Probably not going to stay that way. Um, Karen apparently and him had a little falling out. She moved across the country. He's trying to find himself and he's trying to finally, be at peace a little bit, it seems like, after the hearing and after the ruling of Dex. And then all of a sudden, Kingpin's running for mayor. And it's like,
And it's like everything just like gets like ignited back in him
Yes,
again.
I know. It's like Kingpin, haven't heard that name in a while. Last time we saw him, Echo shot him in the face. Uh,
Yeah.
so he might have even been thinking like, oh, he's dead, or he's gonna just stay under the radar for a while. And then he's like, oh, he's running for mayor. All right, big deal. Who cares? And then he wins, and it's like, well, shit. Now it's real, and it's split. City either loves him or they hate him.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like he literally was Kingpin. He was this guy
Mm,
who just had the largest crime organization
mm.
probably in the whole United States.
Yeah.
And he made all his money, he killed all these different people, he fucked over so many people's
Hmm.
lives.
Hmm.
And they just basically were like, yeah, no, Fisk will fix it.
I know. They have this
And
whole
he's
fiscal fisket.
Yeah,
Fix.
Fisk will fix it.
Hmm.
This whole thing, and now he's freaking mayor of New York, dude.
I know, and you can see him. He's kind of trying to be good too. Like he's trying to keep his composure,
I
but
feel like he is, yeah.
he
Something's gonna snap though. You
something's
just
also trying to
know.
snap with him too because like the last episode was called the optics. He's trying to his committee or his
Yeah.
close circle is trying to get him to look good in the public, go to this meeting, meet with this commissioner, meet with the fire chief, meet with this, like show that you actually mean what you're saying. Like these first 100 days are critical. And he's just doesn't want to do any of that because he is literally like a whiny kid. Like the
Yeah.
police chief said, he just doesn't care. And that last shot at the end of season one, where there's the red smoke behind Daredevil, the white smoke behind Kingpin, it's like
Kingpin, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
it's kind of oozing out of them, and they're like you said about to be ignited again because they're
Yeah.
on the verge of snapping. One big thing, which could be the happy couple or not so happy couple of Kingpin and Vanessa
But
seeing
yeah,
Murdoch's love interest.
yeah, so that really freaking got sent me, bro, was like
Hmm.
that, you introduce this new love interest for Matt Murdock,
Hmm.
which gotta say, this guy has one of the most unbelievable rosters I've ever fucking seen.
For a
This
blind
guy,
guy, his game is great.
a blind guy, dude, how does he get with tens? Like
It
every single one of them, every single one.
is crazy.
Oh, like, dude, like I just like salute to you, Daredevil, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think the two biggest shockers for me in the whole episode was that obviously Foggy died, and then that
crazy.
cliffhanger at the end of episode two is that, you know, Vanessa and Kingpin are going to therapy with Heather. I was like, wow, dude. Like, I get why they kind of made her a therapist to
Hmm.
kind of plant that seed, but I
Hmm.
wasn't thinking that at all.
No, I had no idea what direction they were going. I also thought who he was going to see was that other guy who was at the book signing, who looked a
Yes, so did
little
I. Yeah.
deranged. So that was shocking for me for sure. Honestly, the other cool thing that I said out loud when I was watching the first time, that one guy that's part of like his campaign party, that's James Gandolfini's kid.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude, I didn't know he was going to be in it.
You know
So
what?
I
You know what's
was
kind of crazy too is that his name is Daniel Blake.
okay.
And in the comics, Daniel Blake, I only remember this because Thor it's a Thor Easter egg.
Hmm.
When Thor comes to like Earth
Hmm.
and he's not Thor, he in the original Thor movie, he has a jacket on that says Daniel.
Oh,
And
really?
in the comics, like the Easter egg is that when he like comes to Earth,
Hmm.
um Daniel Blake was his alias that he was when he wasn't Thor, like when he was trying to be a regular
Oh wow,
human.
that's a funny
Yeah.
little detail they you had there. I had no idea about
So
that.
I don't that was like the first thing when they said his name. I was like,
Hmm.
"Whoa, that's weird," because um I was like I know this from like a couple of the comics and just like other media that like I have that like that was his like other alias, like kind of
Hmm.
like his secret identity Thor.
Yeah,
I was like, "Dude, I wonder if they're gonna like play into that at all, or if it's just gonna be just some random guy named Daniel Blake."
maybe I don't know, but I know I was super pumped to see his kid in it. I didn't know
Dude,
he
it
was
was
going to
so
be in it.
dope, bro.
Yeah, Taylor's like, who is that? I was like, that's Tony Soprano's kid. They're like in the show. I was like, no, 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 actually, James Gandolfini's kid. Like that is
Yeah,
his kid.
that is his kid.
Yeah, and he was pretty funny. He was
Yeah,
really cool.
I think he has a pretty large role in the whole series
Hmm.
itself.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they do with his character because you know, one of the things I really did love about the first two episodes too
Hmm.
was that it kind of brought me to like you never watched Suits, right?
I watched the first few seasons.
Yeah, so Suits like it gave me kind of like that Suits vibe where they're maybe gonna try and lean a little bit more to the law aspect
Mm.
of Daredevil. As
Yeah.
much as I love the action side of Daredevil,
Yeah.
but like it'll be kind of cool to see him lean a little bit more into like that lawyer side
Hmm.
of it. Which is also really cool. That's kind of the vibes I got off of the first watch.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's like up in the world too, like and partnered with that other lawyer and like they're doing
Mhm.
some big stuff now, which is cool.
Yeah, and I also like how they also brought this show into this new technology, wow, technology generation, where, they have the BB report, which was a great, pay respect to Ben, finding out that's Ben Urich's kid was
Yes.
unbelievable. And she's, being a journalist, doing what he would have loved to do. But just kind of like the little side details of seeing, with just not listening to Daredevil's kind of take on it, but hearing what the city thinks of Kingpin. Do they love
Yeah.
him? Do they hate him? And it's like, kind of this new generation of kids, because they kind of want to touch on that aspect, but it's not like in a cringy kind of way. It's a
Yeah.
subtle, like, seeing her push that way. So I really like that touch as well, seeing the BB report and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Yeah, man. And I know you touched upon it earlier, but that opening sequence of kind of how you talked about Daredevil's powers.
Hmm.
First of all, the cinematography in this whole first two shows, I was like, damn, like this is really creative how they
Yeah.
filmed this stuff, I was like, I really like this,
Hmm.
that first one shot that they had, just kind of showing the perspective of the actual fight from one camera, like in the bar,
Yeah.
I thought was just absolutely chef's kiss. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And also the whole time as Daredevil is fighting Bullseye,
Hmm.
he's really not like focusing because he's trying to listen to Foggy's heartbeat to
Yeah.
see if he's like fading out or not.
Hmm.
And then once he hears his like, you know, dude, his hearing is just insane too. It's just
I
like
know.
how he's able to pinpoint that shit is just so sick.
I would go nuts if I heard that many voices and sounds throughout the day. I would
Yeah,
lose my
but
mind.
yeah, 100%. But like the
Mhm.
way that he's able to like hone in on certain
I
things, like
know.
especially when he's sitting at the bar talking to Karen and
Hmm.
he like literally like there's so much noise around him, but he literally like focuses on Foggy's um phone call is
Yeah,
just crazy.
I know.
Like I think that is so cool. And um just the fact that once he hears the heartbeat stop, he just cracks, bro.
Yeah,
He just beats the shit out of him and then tosses him right off the roof.
yeah.
And that's so not a Daredevil thing.
No, it is not. And yeah, they do so many things well within these first two episodes that I only can imagine that they continue throughout the rest of the show. And
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know how many episodes is it, do you know? Did they say?
I think it's going to be nine
Okay.
episodes or 10.
Okay.
Nine or 10.
Hmm. That's good. Yeah. As long as it's not like six or something like that. But
Yeah, it's definitely more than six.
mhm,
They originally were supposed to make it 18 episodes, but they had
mm,
reshoots.
mm.
So, it's only going to be I think 9 episodes or 10.
Yeah, the pace of the show was great, how they advanced everything, Kingpin coming mayor and all these things, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the episodes go, but I'm really not too concerned. It's actually a show where I'm actually excited week by week to see them drop and see how it goes. Seeing
Yeah,
Daredevil
man.
back, finally seeing him on screens, finally hopefully eventually seeing Punisher soon too. I mean, it's all going to be really cool and
That's what I was gonna say. I'm really excited to see Punisher next.
yeah,
He's got to be in the next episode.
has to be. They teased them a little bit, and I'm just excited. Like you said, I'm excited. Marvel's on a little nice hot streak here with a couple nice movies and projects in a row. So
Oh yeah.
I
With
think
Captain America and this dude, yo, I just hope they just keep putting out bangers.
I
So,
I agree. I think they're in a great direction. I think they're in a good direction.
oh hell yeah, man. So excited, dude. Speaking of people being in a good direction, let's talk about our New York Knicks, baby.
Hell yeah.
Talk
Hell
talk
yeah.
a little Knicks, talk a little Mets. But let's talk about them first not being in a good direction is them being 0-7 against the top best teams in the league.
Yeah, concerning.
Concerning. But besides that, they're playing great. Like they're coming
Mm-hmm.
back and they're winning these games that they're down by 20. You
Yeah.
know, they just had a huge comeback against the Heat a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Before that, they had a close game, which I actually went to this game. It was against the Sixers.
Yep.
That like they're playing really, really like
Mm-hmm.
close games and like interesting games. But, losing to the Celtics, losing to Oklahoma, um, it's very, very not good for the Knicks. Very not
Yeah,
good.
and it's not even, losing those matchups is what's bad. It's the margin of victory. I mean, they're losing
Yeah.
some of those games by 30 plus,
Yeah.
which is not great. And I was watching one recently when they played the Cavs, and the Knicks have a great offense. Defense has been questionable pretty much all season, but they've been able to outscore a lot of opponents because they've been
Yeah.
able to get extra possessions with offensive rebounds. They are a grittier team. But when I was watching that game against the Cavs, I mean, the Cavs were not missing a shot. I'm pretty
No.
sure they put up 45 to 50 in the first quarter alone. And it's like you are already digging yourself in a hole where now you have to probably score 150 points in this game to win.
Yeah.
And it's tough. So it is tough to say because this is probably one of the most talented Knicks rosters we've seen put together, at least on paper for sure. And it's almost crazy to say that they're still almost missing something, to get past the Cavs, Celtics, and then if they got to the finals, the Thunder. Because I know the regular season is different animal than the playoffs. And you hope in a 7 game series, if you matched up against one of these teams, you could eventually just wear them down because the
Yeah.
Knicks are used to playing 45 minutes a game. Tibbs has that mentality in him. But it's just the way they're losing those games is kind of concerning to me. That it's not close. They have no answers really.
No, and that's what's scary about it, is I mean, yes, it's great. Like Mitch just came back. You're
Mm-hmm.
hoping he can probably fill that hole and like help like fill that, or answer that question mark that they
Mm-hmm.
have. But, I don't think one guy is really going to change that.
No, I don't think so either. So, I've seen different things because I've seen Knicks fans trying to say like you said, they've been good. They beat the Grizzlies, they beat the Nuggets, they've beaten a lot of the top teams as well in the West. They've beaten a
Yeah,
lot of top teams in the East.
they
But it's
lose to
like you
Golden
haven't
State last night too, which is
Golden
tough
State
for
was a
them.
tough loss, but Steph Curry owns the Knicks at the Garden.
Yeah,
He's won his last 10 there, so he's like LeBron. I mean, the stars are going to shine at
he's
Madison
gonna
Square
pop out
Garden.
and show him.
Exactly, exactly. So it's concerning for sure. I still love watching the Knicks. Obviously, this is still an unbelievable team, but I'd like to see them kind of be able to just at least have closer games. I mean, when they lost by
Yeah,
40 something to the Cavs or were down by that much, I knew I wasn't even going to be worth it to watch that Sunday against the Celtics. And at points, I think they were down by 20 plus
yeah,
because it's like they just have slow starts and they try to climb back, but I mean it's too little, too late at many times.
it's
So
rough, dude. It's tough.
I know, and I try not to get too pessimistic, but that Mikal Bridges trade is it looks tough. I love the guy, but
It's looking tougher and tougher as it goes on because we gave up so much
so
for
much.
him. And you
Yeah.
think about it, what they got for Luca. I mean, no
Yes.
offense to like Anthony Davis, but like you only got like what? I don't think they got any first round draft picks from that.
I don't think so. If anything, it was like
It was
one,
like Anthony Davis and one first round draft pick. We gave up five first rounds for Mikal
five.
Bridges. Like that's our whole future.
I
So it's like
know.
we're selling our souls to win now. Like, come on.
I know. And for this guy to drop, I know he's known for his defense, but for this guy to only drop sometimes 5 points a game,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not saying you have to put up 30, But there's also
or
games where he
10.
does put up 30 or 40. I mean,
Yeah.
that game you went to against the Sixers, what did he drop? 30? Close
He
to
dropped
40?
he dropped 19 in the first quarter, then he
Yeah.
was silent the rest of the game, and
Hmm.
then until like that, like 5 minutes left into the third quarter, he started scoring and he ended up with 28. You
Yeah.
know,
Because
he only scored
obviously,
nine more
I
points.
know a lot of the Knicks' identity is built around, anyone could have a great night. Obviously, the top two scorers are going to be Brunson and Towns. But, sometimes Anobi and Hart and Bridges, they'll drop 30.
Yeah,
But at other times, it's just like if some of those guys aren't going, it's got to go back to Brunson, who kind of tries to facilitate the team.
yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. It's tough because I'm enjoying so much of this season, but it's almost like come April, who knows what's going to happen. And this is not a make or break year by any means, but
oh yeah.
it's going to be interesting
I
to
just would
see.
like to see us make a run. We
Oh, of
thought
course.
the Knicks were gonna. We've said that we thought they were gonna make it to the the finals this year, maybe even win the chip.
Hmm.
I still think that if we have a good last 2 months
Yeah,
of the season, I think we can do it.
I know. And who would have thought even 5, 6 years ago that we'd be saying that as Knicks fans? I mean, now it almost sounds like we're greedy
I
because
know. Now
they're
we're greedy
they're third in the
in the
East.
in the East. We're third in the East, and now I'm like, oh, sorry, you guys suck. You can't beat a big team.
I know.
No,
It's
that's
like
like,
you're saying
yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
not
it's
how I
like,
want to
oh,
be.
yeah. It's like, oh, it's like a wasted season. It's like we're only third. It's like if we only knew back then, if we thought 5 years ago, if you said they'd be third, we'd be like, that's awesome. Because we were used to teams that had like 10 wins at this point.
Yeah,
So now that there's actually something to watch, I think it's exciting. It's still going to be great. And who knows? Like I said, the playoffs are a different animal. Regular season, once you get there, 7 game series,
and
anything can happen.
we get a healthy Mitch. You get
Yeah.
Towns. You get two bigs that are like willing to like put it out on the floor every
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. At this point, just, hone on your skills, stay healthy, and get ready for the playoffs. And especially
Yeah.
you got that six man, if you will, in the MSG crowd when you're home. So
Oh yes, dude. And I will be part of that six man if we end up going to the finals. I don't care how much the tickets cost.
oh,
I will be there day one.
absolutely. That's the one, they talk about the Eagles winning, or when the Eagles won, that city burned down.
Oh yeah.
If the Knicks ever get a chip, man, whew, I'd
Especially in this day and age, bro.
I'd evacuate the city if I was a resident living there because what those fans will do. I mean,
Uh
you see what they do after winning game one of the first round.
yeah.
Imagine winning the last game of the finals. Boy,
I cannot imagine, dude. I really cannot.
yeah, I can't imagine either. And switching over into our other New York sports team that we hope can go on a deep run this year and hopefully win their championship is the Mets, who is
Hell
off
yeah,
to
baby.
a pretty decent start in spring training, I would say.
Yeah.
Everyone that's been there looks good. Everyone's
Yeah,
looking good.
I think Soto is really kind of like showing he's enjoying being a Met. Like
Yeah.
he likes the guys there. I mean, who wouldn't want to be friends with Francisco Lindor?
Yep.
Like they got a good young core and it looks like he's really gelling with them, like hanging out with
Hmm.
Vientos, Alvarez, Beatty, like they all
Hmm.
look like they're having such a great time and it's just so exciting to see, man.
Yeah, it's been good, and I know not to dive too much into spring training because it is spring training. Season could be different, but a lot of guys are having great numbers on the offensive and pitching side of the
Yeah.
Mets. I mean, like you said, Soto's had a couple nice home runs already. Siri's even looking good. Alonso's had some good games. I haven't really seen too much of Lindor yet, but again,
Yeah, Beatty has been freaking mashing the ball.
he can hit spring training and minor league pitching. He just has to hit major league pitching, and he'll
I
be all right,
know.
man.
I
I'm rooting
know.
for him, but
I
it
am too.
seems like every time he gets to the big leagues, he can't hit, and
Yeah.
it's sad because I love him. He's a good guy. But yeah, Beatty's hitting good. All the Mets pitchers have looked good. Clay Holmes has looked good.
Yeah.
Senga had a decent
Screw the
start.
Yankees for making fun of us.
Yeah,
Giving Clay
exactly.
Holmes a starting contract or a starter. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple other guys. I think it was Tidwell, was a guy I'm not too familiar with, but he's had a decent spring, and the other prospect Sprout. I mean, they're all
Dude, I
looking
love
good.
him. He's the
I
one who
know,
I really, really like.
I know.
Um, if we were to ever trade him, I'd cry
Yeah.
because I really think he's like that next. He reminds me of like that old pitching core we had, like with Harvey,
Hmm.
DeGrom, Matz, like Wheeler, like where we were like, yo, we have like a guy.
Hmm.
Like he reminds me of that type.
Yeah.
So
I agree, and that's why the big thing with the Mets is that pitching staff looks tough. And me and Carl have kind of talked about that a little bit. On paper, it does look tough,
tough.
especially with Montas and Mania hurt and sidelined right now with their opening day status in question. But I wouldn't hit the panic button. Like you just said, Sprout looks like the real deal. He could come out up at any time. And they have some depth in the minor leagues, some other guys as well that can kind of fill in and get you there, at least to the trade deadline.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, I think we're gonna be all right, man. You know,
Hmm.
and once they come back, it'll be like rejuvenating that system a little bit. I mean,
Hmm.
we talked about this a little bit with our friends. It's like they were kind of coming at us, our Yankee fan friends, saying that like, we should be panicking more. I was like, I'd be panicking more if we were like, maybe 3 or 4 months into the season and this
Hmm.
happened, you know?
Yeah.
But like we have so much time that these guys are gonna be out 6 to 8 months, like
Hmm.
or sorry, 6 to 8 weeks. Like that's like mid-April, like that's like
Hmm.
end of April, early May. So
Yeah.
like it'll be okay, especially if they come back around that time. You have plenty of time to go on a run.
Yeah, and in this day and age, I mean, it's unfortunate, but pitchers, it seems like every year are out for an extended period of time just by the way
Yeah.
they throw, how fast and the weird pitches and motions they do to their elbows. It seems like you're lucky if you get 32 starts out of any starter in today's
Yeah.
age. So teams are realizing that, and you don't have your five starters anymore. You usually have about nine starters that you
Yeah.
feel comfortable with, and it seems like, listen, Stearns has been doing this for a long time at GM. He did it with the Brewers. They always had a staff besides Corbin Burns that no one really knew of, but they always pitched them their way into the postseason. And you kind of saw it last year with the Mets. They had the same philosophy. I mean, they didn't really have that true ace coming out besides Senga. But even when Senga
Yeah.
went down, I mean, they put it together with Quintana, Mania, Peterson, all these other guys who aren't big names per se in the MLB, and they pitched their way, to only a couple wins away from the World Series. So they have the similar philosophy. They have some guys coming back, and the pitching coach seems like a pitching whisperer too. So,
Yeah, he is. He's been there for a long time too, and he's
mhm,
he's he's really coached up some really good pitchers out of our system. So, I just have faith in
mhm.
the whole process.
I agree. I agree. And kind of the last topic slash game we're going to play here as well is with the season only a couple weeks away. Is I saw this on John Boy Studios. Shout out to those guys. And they did it with what are three things you wish they wish the Yankees did this offseason? So me and Carl are going to do a little iteration of that game, and we're going to do what are three things we wish the Mets did this offseason with the season about to start. So, Carl, you want to kick us off with your three items you wish you saw the Mets do?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in reverse order. I'm gonna start with my number one and go all the way down
Sure.
to three. So the number one thing I like selfishly hope wish they did was I wish they signed Iglesias back. I know he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really fit on the team,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have really liked. He was such a glue and such a
Mm-hmm.
good guy, clubhouse guy last year.
Yep.
Even if you put him on the team and you don't think he's gonna get a lot of playing time. I would have just liked to see him just in a role on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, dude, the OMG song, the just like the hype that the fans got for like just the energy he brought every day was
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah.
So that is something I think I wish we did in the offseason. Again, this is still possible because he's a free agent.
Yes.
So um I could be eating my words. There's
Yeah.
probably gonna be some breaking
Some
news
breaking news that he signs back. I know.
that he signs back like next week, and we'll have to talk about it. But that's my number one. My number two is I wish they signed Pete a little bit earlier. I thought that that was just way too long. And it was dragged out. I'm happy it got done before spring training,
Mm-hmm.
but it could have been avoided way earlier. And I think they could have gotten with a deal, but I don't think that's necessarily the Mets' fault.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that was just how the market played out.
Yeah.
And then my last one, which I don't think is a huge thing, we just just kind of touched upon the pitching staff, but I think it would have been nice if we traded for a top arm,
Mm-hmm.
which we were kind of in the mix of a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Trading for somebody who was an ace caliber arm, kind
Mm-hmm.
of getting rid of some prospects. But again, I'm not too upset about that because um I think we're gonna be able to fill in from within.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get rid of our like young prospects. We got some really good young talent, and
Yeah.
I want to hold on to them for a little bit longer, selfishly.
Yeah, I mean I agree because again, everyone tries to rush people's um, process, and a lot of minor leaguers kind of get messed up because of that. And you don't want to just win this year and go all in and then ruin your franchise for the next 15. I mean, the Mets are trying to
Yeah,
build something this year for sure, but they're also trying to build something that will sustain for at least the next 10, hopefully 10, 15 years, especially with the contracts that Lindor and Soto and these young guys still have. So
exactly.
I agree. I think you don't panic until you really have to panic for sure. And yeah, I liked I liked those 3 points. They were all very good, and I had very similar points that I wish the Mets did, with a little different reasoning than yours. Obviously, my first one I also had was I wish they signed Jose Iglesias.
Ah, let's go.
I had that one. I wish. Obviously, I know there's a lot of things they're trying to clear some other spots for the younger guys. Obviously, Acuna being one of them. McNeil is probably better on the infield than the outfield. They just have a lot of congestion on the infield, trying to move around a couple guys. So I understand why they didn't. Hopefully, they still do because I mean, the change in culture last year in the locker room started with him. I mean, I don't know if you saw recently Jesse Winker, before he signed back, he said he told his agent he's not going anywhere else besides the Mets. He wants to go back to the Mets, figure it out. And who you love to hear that, that you want to go back to a place like that after
Yeah,
being around so many teams. You want to go back to the Mets. I mean, that's great to hear. Obviously, they had the team chemistry, so it started with Jose Iglesias, and he shows he wants to be back. So I think they'll get a deal done because, like you said, it's never say never. He's still a free agent.
yeah. I think maybe if anything, especially it's waiting this long,
Mm-hmm.
signs a minor league deal, man. And then,
Yeah.
he makes it to the big club. He gets the
Mm-hmm.
minimum, the vet minimum.
Yeah.
And, we bring him up and down when we need him. And then, you know what, dude? Like, he's the type of guy who doesn't need to be getting reps in the minor leagues. Like, if we want to play guys over him, just take him off the roster for a couple of days and
Yeah.
just have him in the fucking clubhouse, bro. Have him make bangers. I want OMG part two. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
Yeah.
he's just a good clubhouse guy, man. I'm excited.
I agree. I agree. And the other point I had too was not that I wish the Mets traded for a top line guy, but I wish they were able to sign one of the top line guys. I know some of that was out of
Yeah.
their control, but I do really wish they ended up with a Burns or a Sasaki or someone like that. Obviously, that's not all the Mets' fault completely, but it would have just been nice to have like that actual ace who's been around for a few years. Well, not Sasaki, but more Burns. I wish Burns was there
Yeah.
at the top, and I think there was a couple other starters out there that I really wish they were just able to bring to their team, Snell or someone, even though those guys had eyes on somewhere else. The rotation will be fine, but it seems weird, kind of having a rotation. I mean, we grew up with DeGrom, Matz,
Oh,
Harvey,
yeah. Yeah.
Syndergaard. You see the picture with Cologne too, like the six of them standing there. It's
Yeah.
like these guys are all flamethrowers. These guys can all be an ace on a different team. So it's a different feel, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. I would just love to see it. Someone exciting to see every fifth day, but these guys will be all right. And then I had two last ones I was bouncing back and forth between. I won't mention it because you had the same one. I wish the peak contract negotiations went better. I will throw that in
Yeah.
as an honorable mention. Like you said, both sides kind of were tough, bargaining chips. But the last one I had, and I hope it happens before the season, is that they do name Lindor captain.
Ooh.
I wish they would name him before the season started captain of the New
I
York Mets.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, we mentioned
And
Iglesias
well
is kind of
deserved.
yeah, exactly. We mentioned Iglesias is the glue guy. Lindor is the heart and soul of that team. I
He's the
mean,
captain, man.
the smile's contagious. Everyone will live or die for that guy. People probably want to come to the Mets because of that guy. Like you said, Soto and Lindor look like they're hitting off already.
Yeah.
A shortstop, a captain of the infield usually anyway. So It's kind of well deserved for sure. So I think I would like to see before the season they
That's a good
name,
one. That's a
yeah,
good one.
I think they name him captain, and it would be good to see.
I saw an idea or a theory on how they're going to end up doing that, and I think they're going to end up doing it this way if they don't name it before the season starts.
Hmm.
Is when Wright gets his jersey retired this year, um, they also name him
Hmm.
Lindor captain in that same ceremony.
Hmm.
Kind of like a passing of the baton from,
Hmm.
the old captain to the new captain.
Hmm.
Which I don't know if I love that idea because then you're kind of taking away from the moment of
Hmm.
David Wright's retirement. But
Yeah.
it would be a cool like kind of gesture. But
It would be for sure, but that almost seems like a WWE storyline. It's like, here's my day, now it's you. It's like, I don't
do
think
I
you
hate the
need,
WWE though? Come
I
on.
don't either, but I feel like you're taking David Wright's day and you're trying to put Lindor over even more
Yeah,
but it's like, you don't need to. I think Mets
yeah,
fans love him, especially what he was able to do last year and turn the team around. So
exactly. Even if he comes out and fucking hits like a rusty gate again, we know he's gonna turn it around at some point. So,
exactly, and now they have other people in the lineup to help out too. So
oh yeah.
we are only a couple weeks away, folks, from baseball season, and we cannot wait. I mean, it's getting warmer outside. St. Patty's
Oh,
Day
I'm
is around
so
the
amped.
corner. I am so
I'm so
excited.
amped.
I am so excited. And that brings us to the end of another lovely episode, episode 50
Two-man
of the
podcast,
Two Man
baby.
Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did recording it. As always, thanks for listening. Carl, safe travels. Can't wait to
Thanks.
hear about it.
Continue to like, comment, subscribe, buy some merchandise. And just keep loving the two man. Frankfurt, shout out. I'll be very
Always.
close to you
Yeah,
more
true.
than
You can
ever.
go visit the fans.
I could go visit the fans. Maybe we'll have a meet and greet. If anybody's interested, please like and comment on our TikToks and on our YouTube. I'll try and make it happen.
Hey, why not, man?
Why not?
I applaud you for it. But yes, as always, like Carl said, we love the support. Thank you guys very much. And we will see you again in a couple weeks. Bye.